Alchrist and Lapis are next to each other in the running sprites. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time, we went over Alchrist squad, and I forgot I put Somi in Angry Eyes. It's just, seeing Angry Eyes Somi just running up, is amazing. But, now, we are going to be heading out to the world map, where it will suddenly stop being nighttime, because time in the Somniel is weird. A weird soup, you could say. And we'll be heading out to the next chapter, which is a defend map. Yeah, skirmishes will eventually disappear if you leave them too long. I think one of those may have been a Silver Corrupted. Silver Corrupted give more experience, but we're going to go to Brodia Castle for Chapter 8. Also, you might notice there's a suspicious arena-shaped structure near Brodia Castle. We'll deal with that later. We can't do anything about that just yet, but let's just say that might be the site of a paralog. Chapter 8, The Kingdom of Might. Some very square-looking castles.
We're here. Brodia Castle.
I do like how all of the kingdoms kind of have a different style of architecture. I don't know if you'd exactly call this brutalist architecture, but it feels like the closest thing to brutalist you can get for medieval-style castles.
I don't see any Illusian soldiers. Thank goodness. The attack hasn't begun.
It'd be kind of amusing if you did Jean and Anna's paralogs before this, which you definitely can.
Wait. There's someone in front of the gate. He doesn't look like a guard.
Is it the second coming of the legendary gatekeeper of Fodlan?
Is it an enemy soldier? No, that's Diamant. He must have come out to greet us.
I've been waiting for you, Divine One. I greet you as the Crown Prince of Brodia. I'm Diamant.
This guy knows how to win the approval of his subjects. Take up the role of gatekeeper.
I've heard so much about you. I'm honored to finally meet the legend in person.
It's a pleasure, Prince Diamant.
And Prince Alfred, welcome. Queen Ev's letter explained your situation. Thanks for coming all this way. It's good to see you.
Likewise. I'm sorry it took a war for us to meet again after all this time.
Oh, and Alchrist. Thanks for escorting our guests from the border. I know that's a rugged road.
Well, I mean, let's not mention the part where Alchrist almost shot us.
It was nothing, really. I bear ill news, however. Illusian forces attacked us at the Grand Crossing.
Also, they have one of the emblems already, at least. That's a really bad thing.
Is that right?
A battalion led by Princess Hortensia. We fought her off, but she said something troubling. The Crown Princess intends to assault Brodia Castle. If they're after our emblem ring, we may be on course for a dangerous confrontation.
We'll have to prepare our defenses. Thanks for the warning, Alchrist. Come. Father will want to hear about this.
So your class is Lord, huh?
Why do you all look so tense?
I'd keep your father off the front lines if I were you.
Father, you were supposed to be waiting inside.
Yes, I know. And I was. But then I had this feeling my boy Alchrist might be home. Seems my fatherly intuition was right, as usual. Welcome back, son.
Thank you, Father.
I wish you'd stop finding excuses to leave the castle. It's not safe out here.
Please, Diamant, not another lecture. Where's the harm in welcoming my dear boy back from his journey? Anyway, we'd best not argue in front of our guests.
Oh, it's all right.
Please, pardon my rudeness. Divine One, Prince Alfred, welcome. I am Morion, King of Brodia.
Well met, Morion. Yes, that's definitely your name. Your name is not something else that sounds very similar to Morion, and describes you perfectly.
Good to meet you.
Likewise, I never imagined I'd meet the Divine Dragon. Indeed, such a special occasion calls for a welcoming duel.
There's no time for that. We have an important matter to discuss. As Alchrist was escorting our guests from the border, Illusian soldiers attacked them.
Huh, Illusians.
It appears that the Crown Princess is planning an assault on Brodia Castle.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? You haven't been invading them lately?
Already making their move, huh? Soldiers, go now! Shore up our defenses!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Well done getting that information, Alchrist.
Please, I don't deserve such kind words.
Humble as ever, son.
King Morion, excuse me, but I need your kingdom's aid.
You want our emblem ring, right? I knew you'd ask. That's why I brought it. Here, the ring of the young lion.
Kind of funny that Roy's ring found its hand into someone who seems to fill the role of Zephyl more.
Hey, Tiamat, think fast.
Father, we're supposed to take care of the ring, not throw it around.
And, like I said, King Morion. He likes to play catch with valuable artifacts that contain legendary spirits.
Ah, you're no fun.
Alfred,
Yes?
King Morion seems so nice. This is the man who's always invading Elusia? I thought he'd be more intimidating.
You're seeing Morion friend and family man. He's known to be a big-hearted guy. But in battle, the demon comes out. He's not someone you want as your enemy.
Ugh. Father can be such a handful sometimes. Divine One, I've got the ring for you.
Thank you.
What will you do with it?
I'm going to summon an emblem.
And I really hope it's not a 1-star.
Rise up, emblem of binding.
Our boy Roy is finally here. And he's an incredibly straightforward emblem focused on offense and survivability. His ring gives a significant boost to HP, a big boost to strength, and a small boost to resistance. Roy only has 2 sync skills, but the first is so good he doesn't need a third. Hold Out makes it so that you always survive a combat with at least 1 HP if you had a certain HP threshold going into it. This even applies if the enemy attacks multiple times. If their first hit reduces you to 1 HP, the rest of their attacks will be forced to miss. This essentially makes it impossible for a single enemy to kill Roy's bearer. So if you're smart about where you position them and keep them healed, they can be outright invincible. Anything would pale in comparison to this, but Advance is still okay as a mobility tool. You'd be surprised how often melee attackers find themselves just barely out of range of enemies. When you're tired of defense and need to bring the offense, that's when you activate Roy's Engage and instantly gain 5 levels, channeling all the extra level ups Roy wishes he had in Binding Blade. This works even if you're at level 20, and dragons get an additional level, cavalry also get move +1, and armored units get +5 HP, on top of the sizable bonus Roy already gives. This skill can be described perfectly as boring but practical. It literally makes anyone better. His engage attack is Blazing Lion, what I like to consider the wide counterpart to Sigurd's Override. It doesn't deal any extra damage over a regular attack, but it hits a 3-space wide area in front of you, and afterwards sets both that area and the 2 rows beyond on fire. Anything, friend or foe, caught in the fire at the start of its turn loses 10% of its HP, but perhaps more importantly, it slows movement a lot, making it great for keeping dangerous foes at bay. Be aware that it will slow down you as well as the enemy, so I recommend waiting until near the end of your turn after you've moved most of your characters to use this engage attack. Dragons attack an additional 3-wide column with this, making it possible to deal damage to a clump of 6 enemies if you're lucky with their positioning, and mystical units still attack the same area, but set a longer area on fire afterwards. Roy's first engage weapon is the Lance Reaver. This, just like its home game, reverses the weapon triangle, so it will inflict break on lances, but will be broken by enemy axe users. At Bond 10, you get the Worm Slayer, which is effective against dragons, which in Engage is mainly just Wyvern Knights. Dragon effective weapons have a major problem that won't come into play until much later, but trust me, I am going to rant about it once we get there. Fun fact though, both these weapons have the exact same stats they did in Roy's original game, which is not true for most Engage weapons. Roy's skill inheritance is the opposite of Micaiah in that almost all of them are insanely expensive. But for good reason, as they're also insanely powerful. Just don't expect to afford them without a lot of use of the Ancient Well. His stat boost raises strength, and every point of this helps, for physical attackers at least. But it's his weapon bonus that's even better. These straight up increase your attack power when equipped with swords. Minus 10 avoid is a tiny price to pay for this. Both of Roy's sync skills can be inherited, and Advance is by far the most affordable. You can theoretically have a whole army running around with holdout focus sashes, just don't expect to have many other skills. Roy grants sword proficiency the earliest of any emblem we've seen so far. Overall, Roy is a very straightforward emblem. He makes any frontline physical attacker better at what they already do. Because of this, despite his power, he tends to be a bit of an afterthought, getting slapped onto whoever doesn't need a more specialized emblem.
I'm Roy. If you're summoning me, that can only mean war has begun.
And that means you're going to be fighting a war again, despite canonically being 15 years old. I do like Roy's English voice acting, but it does sound a little too deep for 15.
There was a person in there?
How about that? All along, this emblem dwelt in our family's ring. And now you have released him. It seems divine is no exaggeration, huh?
Urgent news, Your Majesty. An illusion Wyvern Rider is approaching.
Well, I mean, good to know it's a Wyvern Rider, and the Prince of this country is a pretty good archer, so yeah, let's get him on the front lines, as much as he'd hate that. Just one quick thing that I'll mention, for some reason, I really like that sort of deep red color that Brodian soldiers wear. A lot of Fire Emblem nations wear red, but it's rare that it's a red this deep.
It's dodging all our archers' attacks.
Oh wait, okay, maybe archers aren't actually that good effective here.
What?
She's here. Divine One, may I call upon Roy's help to defend the castle?
Of course.
I, Princess Ivy, speak for the Illusian throne. I will now take your lives, your souls, and the rings.
Two major character intro cutscenes in one chapter. Pretty eventful one.
I underestimated how far you could get into Brodian territory, Princess Ivy.
My soldiers are on the way. Now, I will give you a chance to surrender before they arrive.
Yes, because offering your enemies a chance to surrender before you destroy their capital instantly makes you a likable and sympathetic character. Can you tell that I'm bitter about something?
Oh, I'm itching for that fight.
Father, go back to the castle.
What? What?
If something happened to you, our country would be devastated. Please, leave this to us.
Right. Why should the king get a say in the matter? I'll do as you ask.
Like, I mean, as much as I agree with Diamant not wanting to risk the king's life, I feel like this guy's probably, like, very, very, very high level, so we could really use him in this siege.
But, Diamant, Allchrist, don't you dare get killed.
We won't.
Well, we'll try not to.
Although something I do find kind of interesting about Morion is, like, with how timid Alchrist is, it would be easy to assume that he's abusive towards him, but he's actually not. So that is a little refreshing.
You must be the Divine Dragon.
That's right.
You really are as stunning as my sister said. I'm pleased to meet you.
So, Elusia is the country that worships the Fell Dragon, but now, so far, 3 of them have thought that the Divine Dragon was pretty.
As is my ring.
But that's...
The ring of the Sage Lord. A gift from my father.
How fitting that the rings of 2 lords who used to be considered some of the worst in the series are in the same chapter.
With its power, I am sorry to say, I must kill you.
Okay, you're gonna kill us with the Ring of the Sage Lord, huh? Well, me knowing the abilities of that ring? Good luck.
I won't let that happen. It's you who will fall, Princess Ivy.
It is you who is going down! Apparently that's a quote from the Avatar Ember Island players play.
You won't surrender then? In that case, my forces will prepare for battle.
As will ours.
I'll stop at nothing to get those rings back.
I just noticed that she has this giant spike on, like, her glove. So, like, if people try to shake her hand, then they impale themselves. Interesting armor design there. Although on the note of interesting armor design, I didn't even mention the thing over her face, which bothers a lot of people. I mean, I'm fine with Ivy's design personally, but I think it's only because... Okay, I'm gonna say something right now that's probably gonna make some people mad, but I've kinda already burned my bridges with these people a long time ago. I think that Ivy is Camilla, except actually good. Like, to me, Ivy is an apology for how Camilla was handled in Fire Emblem Fates. But anyway, yeah, she is more of a magic user, though, than Camilla was. She is a flying wyvern class who uses tomes and staves, even in unpromoted form, which is pretty cool. And she also has, thanks to the question mark emblem, the Sage Lord, a Killer Axe and a Master Lance. Notice how drastically the Master Lance lowers her stats, especially speed. Like, she has 11 base speed and the Master Lance lowers it down to 4? Again, good luck killing things with the Ring of the Sage Lord. That's one of the reasons why. But the ring does give her Arms Shield, 5 less damage with weapon advantage. A good thing bows don't obey the weapon triangle. Vantage Plus, this is actually kind of scary. When at less than half health, they get to attack first, even on the enemy phase. And Adaptable, which is... I'll talk about Adaptable later, but it's kind of a thing. It's interesting, though, because it means that she will always counterattack you with whatever weapon is best for, like, both range and weapon triangle. So that means that if you try and use a bow against her, she'll always equip, like, the Fire Tome or the Master Lance. It effectively means that she can't be broken through weapon triangle because she'll always swap to a weapon that at least is at least weapon triangle neutral. Also, she has the single-minded skill, which means if she attacks the same person multiple times, she gets increased hit rate against them the second time. But Ivy is not alone. She's actually brought her 2 sidekicks. We first have the Thief Zelkov with the skill Not Quite, which, if a foe initiates combat, inflicts hit -10 on that foe during combat. Basically, it means that you have a lower chance of hitting him if it's on your phase, which is actually kind of a pain because this is a player phase-focused game, and he'll also poison you every time he does damage. An enigmatic man who's always absorbed in intrigues of his own making. Another sort of subversive thing, he seems a lot like Hubert from Three Houses, but personality-wise, he's not all that similar. And then we have this guy. I have issues with this guy, so I'm going to take them out on him in this chapter. Kagetsu is Ivy's other retainer. Speaks freely and without inhibition. But I mean, character, I like him as a character, he's fine. Also, on the enemy phase, he gives you a void -10, so effectively he has more accuracy. And he has this, so he has 30 crit. And also he's a sword master, so he's very strong and a backup class. So we've also got quite a few mages positioned down here. This guy has a droppable wind spell. Obviously, I don't really want to send Louis down there, but yeah, there's actually a lot of mages around here. This is actually one map where Sigurd with Louis might not be a great idea. We have a ballista, though, and there are also a lot of enemy flyers that we need to deal with, because if an enemy reaches these gates, we lose, because with Diamant gone, we don't have a gatekeeper. So okay then, unit selection. We only have access to 9 deployment slots here. You will be getting 2 new allies the moment that you start this map, so effectively you have 11 units here. And I want to bring both Lapis and Alcris, so I need to kick out 2 people. And that's... oh, wait, it's actually, like, leaving it, like, not, like, okay. I was gonna say I would kick out Etier, but Etier is actually pretty useful in this map, thanks to that ballista. Yeah, it's normally a pretty bad thing to get rid of Chloe, because she's amazing. But I do want to use Lapis. And as good as chain attacks are, I think I can probably afford to drop Boucheron. Now, I should also mention, your new allies will be joining around this side, so this part of the map is a little more covered. You might want to concentrate your forces around the other side instead. Oh, right, actually, Diamant's here already, so yeah, we can already see him, and he has Roy already. In terms of emblem rings, I had this weird idea to actually use Sigurd on Yunaka.
Leave it to me.
Because we have a lot of mages around here, I kind of like to get to those mages quickly. And like I said, Louis is not going to do great with Sigurd here. Also, I kind of want to do this just to try and get Anna some experience.
Micaiah! Of course.
Huh, Celica does boost strength. I just had this weird idea to have, like, a teleporting backup attacker. Alright, Lapis should definitely have Deadly Blade. If I'm not deploying Citrine, I should probably have Clan take the Thunder Tome. Okay, I think we should be ready to head out.
Finally, Horsey, you stopped! Where were you taking me?
That horse must be descended from Sophie's from Fates.
Huh? Wait, is this the castle? Is that Prince Diamant?
Amber?
What are Illusion soldiers doing here?
They've attacked us. Say, Amber, weren't you out fighting beasts?
I was, but then Horsey got spooked and wouldn't listen to me. I kept getting tossed around on its back, and next thing I know, here I am.
I'll never understand how you end up in these strange situations. But this time, it works in our favor. I was just wishing you were here.
Maybe Horsey sensed this danger. That's so clever of you!
Ready to defend the castle together?
I was born ready!
So yeah, we have got 2 new allies already, Diamant and Amber.
If our enemies reach the gate, the castle will be theirs.
Yes, because King Morion will not be able to do anything about that for some reason.
We can't allow that to happen.
And this is not like a timed defend mission. You do need to go on the offense and defeat the boss. And already we're in the serious mode version of the Brodia theme. But yeah, we have Diamant on our side already, who starts out with Roy. Just giving a pretty good boost to HP there. And this is why I said...
Together we will defend the castle.
Together we will defend the castle. That the left-hand side of the map is generally pretty safe. Because I've already gone over Emblem Roy, but the reason why is that they kind of want you to use his Lancer Reaver here. And yes, I like to call it Lancer Reaver instead of like Lance Reaver, because that's how I used to say it when I first played the Game Boy Advance games.
Here comes Amber!
But we have Amber as well, who is a cavalry unit with a lot of strength, and also he starts with an Iron Grutlance. And you may notice it doesn't lower his speed. The weird thing about Great Lances, or Smash Weapons in general, is, I may have mentioned this already, but they are surprisingly light for what they are. And so, if he's not really getting doubled, then, and I don't think he'll be doubling the enemies in return, there's not really much reason not to equip the Iron Grutlance on the enemy phase, unless I want to fish for a crit with the Killer Lance, but I feel like I'm rarely successful when I'm doing that with Amber on this map.
All right.
Okay. So, yeah, speaking of this map, these areas here are a little bit too wide to choke point. It's kind of interesting how they designed this defend map, because it's not actually very choke pointy, apart from these obstacles around the ballista. Speaking of which, I do want to get one of my archers in to use the ballista, and that will probably be either Etier or Alcris. Alcris is probably going to get there first. And I do want Anna to approach these Lance guys, even though they're probably going to get themselves killed early.
Let's hear it.
Could actually start putting up some obstructs already. May want to save these for later, though. I can effectively use these to make, like, this wall double thick. But I mostly did that for the level up. One more level, and John will be ready to not exactly graduate from his class, because Key Adept's already Martial Monk. I often just straight up call it Key Adept rather than Martial Monk, because Martial Monk's kind of a hard class name to say. I do want you a little closer to there, and then the question is, are you going to run in with Sigurd or not?
Let's change.
Let's see. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually seen how you look with Sigurd before. But, right then. Apparently, you don't even double these guys, so I guess I was wrong about Yunaka, doubling quite well, but you only do 2 damage? I mean, I guess Sigurd is pretty good, defensively, but still, that's a lot less damage than I was expecting Yunaka to take. And I have that natural avoid plus 10 from inheriting that, so I have that all the time now. Do I want to provoke the Pegasus into attack? I'll just provoke one Pegasus into attacking her. Yeah, these barriers don't last long, by the way. That's kind of why I put the obstruct there. And in fact, the enemies do kind of prioritize going for them over other things. Wow, yeah, so there's something that I forgot to mention about Yunaka in her bio, and I kind of wish I did. It's that Yunaka is she surprisingly has more speed issues than you might think. Most of her base stats come from her Thief class. Her actual personal bases aren't that good. So, sometimes Yunaka can actually fall short of doubling things. Oh, I love the covert class battle animations, though. Again, it reminds me a lot of the GBA games. Which is pretty fitting, considering we just got Roy. Though, you know, Roy has a lot more.
We will not relent until the castle is ours.
Oh, speaking of Roy, we're about to have some reinforcements. Yeah, one thing Roy's game loves is ambush spawning reinforcements.
If these enemies all come at once, our defenses won't hold.
Our castle has a ballista. We can use that to pick them off.
Ballistae. You can use a ballista by placing a unit equipped with a bow on it. Yes, only bow users can use ballistas. And selecting fire. Ballistae have great range and power, so you can deal serious damage before enemies get close. Ballistae have a limited number of users, however, so plan carefully. And that one says it has 10 users, but it actually only has, it only has, 7. Just thinking, you can't really get to anything right now. So we can use this to fire, and so this is actually kind of... So does it actually tell you this? Because some... Oh yeah, here we go. So hit plus 20. So this ballista, I believe, is just going to use the same might as whatever weapon you have equipped. If I'm doing 15 to you... Yeah, it does say physical attack 21, but... You know, they do still devastate flyers. There are ballistas later in the game, I believe, that do give you a might bonus. Most of them aren't exactly player-friendly, though, like, as in most of them are, like, enemy ballistas, but okay. Well, I suppose I can use this to explode one of these Pegasus Knights. Now, there is one thing that actually bothers me a lot about ballistas in this game, is that you see the ballista fired in the battle animation, and then it goes back to the map, and you see the ballista fire again. Like, just pick one or the other, please. Only show the ballista shooting once, otherwise things just look really awkward. Okay, then. Well, I mean, like, is that exactly enough damage to finish you? I'm gonna check your HP. Oh, it is, okay. Yeah, I was gonna check your HP just to make sure I didn't embarrass myself with that. And yes, Anna...
This item is not for sale!
can do that. I mean, I suppose I should do this. I don't want to really waste my engages, and I'm probably going to need Great Sacrifice soon.
Slashing more than prices!
Oh, nice.
Why do you attempt to throw away your life?
Okay, one of my favorite things about using Anna is she always sounds completely ridiculous with all of her emblem quotes. Just the emblem quotes, like, none of them are fitting for Anna at all, except one of them, I guess, from Leaf. But, yeah, most of them are just so hilariously unfitting. I love it so much. It's just like... anyway. There's, my personal favorite one is, there's a lot of them.
I won't lose.
But like the ones where the emblems are trying to give serious like conversations about like the nature of war and sacrifice, and then Anna just says them so cheerfully. It's so great. Okay, right.
Emblem, engage!
Speaking of emblems, we're going to engage with Roy, and this is going to suddenly turn Diamant into an absolute monster because now he has +5 to his level, which means with the Lancer Reaver, this thing just dies. Also, it gets broken.
The true battle is yet to come.
And I said earlier that, like, there's no benefit whatsoever to, weapon triangle on the enemy phase. Well, I mean, technically speaking, it means you can avoid getting broken, so yeah, there is a benefit, but, what I kind of meant was that it's not going to give, like, any change to, like, evasion or anything like that, or hit rate. Let's just make sure ATA doesn't get doubled here. Because I'm like, okay, just trying to think here. I may be able to set things up so SEA doesn't get killed, because she's definitely under level for this chapter. I just wanted to bring her here because of the Ballista and the Flyers, just to show that she does still have her uses. Yeah, if this was Radiant Dawn, this would probably be like a ledge that people can climb up. I love that mechanic, and I kind of wish they brought it back, but they did not. However, I can show off your shiny new Javelin. Well, more like shiny new promotion.
I won't let this go to my head.
And we can canter down and you get broken because of the axe user, so let's not do that. I'm okay with the mage attacking her though. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of though. Oh wait, no, Yunaka still kinda, sort of, not quite kills you because of... if she had momentum, she actually probably would kill that. 10 speed on your 7, but ATA does get hit by 2 things at once. Okay. I did not want to have to waste my engage on this.
Here I go!
But, I mean, I suppose it's not really technically a waste of an engage, because it puts Clan closer, it destroys this, which frees up Yunaka to do something else.
My apologies. May we all be protected.
And it also probably saved Etier's life. Because, yeah, the other things that are in range of Clan right now are mages, so, like, he might be able to lure and take those out, and then, meanwhile, you can go all the way down there. Oh, that's going to provoke Ivy, though. Let's not do that yet. Let's see. Oh, wow, you can actually finish the Axeman. That's cool. Also, yes, some of the enemies here are corrupted, rather than humans. Well, I mean, these are former humans,
If
technically.
this love is a crime,
But still. What? I don't know whose decision it was to make that one of Sigurd's engage one-liners. I forget if it's actually said in the game or if it comes from the manga, because I remember that I've never read the genealogy manga, but I have heard that the manga is pretty infamous for basically having Sigurd and Daedra, is it? I need to listen to Hiro's voice acting to figure out how to pronounce that. But, like, it's infamous for having, like, I'll just call them, like, the lovebirds. Infamous for having them just have some incredibly flowery and over-the-top conversations about their romance. And, I feel like it probably comes from that. If Amber goes there, he's gonna get broken. But it does mean that, like, only one enemy gets to go through there, so maybe... It only has a defense of 9. Like somehow I keep thinking that Amber is more bulky than he actually is. Because he is sort of like the, he's kind of like a warrior who wants to be a cavalier. I mean, a cavalier who wants to be a warrior. I said that in the wrong direction. I was, like, I had a mini heart attack at that zoom in because I thought that guy crit. But no, it was just zooming in for a dramatic dodge. And here we see the benefits of Get Behind Me. Oh, hey, Lapis actually was the one who got attacked there. Wind does look pretty cool, with it, like, throwing two, like, big wind scythes.
Made quick work of that.
And you'll see that Lapis is still getting pretty solid experience despite being promoted. That's just the way internal level works. I don't think there are any cavalry on this map, so I think I can afford to convoy the Rider's Bane. And that's what I was hoping you would do, but I kind of wish I had equipped Seraphine before I did the warp, because otherwise I might have been able to finish you. But yeah, it's interesting how there is a mix of both corrupted and normal enemies on this map. That's kind of scary, actually. At least she didn't die, though. Got to be a little more careful of Anna. And hi there, additional Peggies. Every time that just reminds me of, like, those, like, European game advertisements being like Peggy 12 or Peggy 16. I think that's like pan-European gaming something. But yeah, being like in the PAL region, I've sometimes like got games that still have like the European ratings on them, even though Australia has a completely different rating system. Yeah, still a little worried about Anna right now, but...
I won't give up.
Yeah, see, now Anna, you should be the one saying, why do you throw away your life?
I feel the potential.
I'm sorry, I never get tired of Anna's engage one-liners. They all just sound so dumb, but just so amazing. Okay, but that is an armored unit, so I don't know if you're able to... Wait a minute, oh no, you don't, you start with a steel sword. Actually, no, Alir has the Armor Slayer, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't really need it because he has Marths engaged, but... Let's, Mercurius, though. I don't want to waste Mercurius. So, okay, if he goes there, then a Pegasus Knight will attack him, which I'm okay with, I think. Yeah, let's just, because, yeah, again, I don't want to waste Mercurius. I've got, like, Mercurius for these few turns. I always have access to the Armor Slayer. So I might as well benefit from the increased experience while I can.
I cannot afford to lose.
Yeah, so, I don't think I've actually mentioned this yet, but Mercurius, like, the reason why Mercurius is Marth's engage weapon in this game, or one of them, is because Mercurius in... You wouldn't know this from Shadow Dragon because it's different there, but Mercurius is actually a Marth exclusive weapon in the original Fire Emblem 1. Kind of weird, but true. And I don't get broken there because it's player phase, and I'm not gonna, like... But I will get broken on the enemy phase if I use the Lancer Reaver, so I'll have to do this. And yeah, that backpack of spectral weapons, as I like to call it, is the engage effect for, engage outfit, should I say, for backup units. And Diamond is a backup unit, and I could always use more backup units. 3-3. Speaking of which, I would not have been able to finish you without that. However, I could also go for this. It does mean that I get hit first, but it also means that I get to definitely finish you off. And yeah, you'll notice that even chain attacks go after smash weapons.
That settles it.
I love it when, like, you smash the enemy into a wall, but they're, like, dead anyway.
They're strong.
Well, yes, they are, but you are stronger. Although, if I do this, then she takes a little bit of damage, and she's actually taking a fair bit of damage. I should be a little concerned about her right now. Especially since I don't have a healer on this side of the map. Okay, I would like to lure that mage in, though, because Lapis has established that she actually is quite good against mages. Can I lure anything from here? What are those two things that are attacking? It's a Pegasus Knight, and... Is that Zelkov? It is Zelkov, okay. Because I think Ivy does move eventually. I don't think I want to provoke Ivy's crew just yet. I guess you could call them the Ivy League, and that, I guess, is like a horrible, horrible joke, but yeah. What even is that like? It's like a thing of universities, isn't it, in America? I think I can probably afford not to heal Lapis right now. It would have sucked if she missed, though. Oh, wait, no, no, does not do that. Though she can go one space further in without provoking much more. And there will be more reinforcements, but thankfully there are not any more, well, not anymore. There are no ambush spawns at all, so, in this game, which is great. Because that's a problem with Roy's game. Roy's game,
Allow your soul to rest.
if they do ever remake Binding Blade, please let there not be, seriously, I have to use Clan now. But yeah, please let there not be ambush spawning reinforcements. But, this actually leads me to something. So, I was always planning to use, like, one quote-unquote, okay, it's a little bit weird to say that I'm using off, that I want to use an off-meta character, because, I am using Anna.
Don't waste my time.
And Jean, so I feel like going any further is probably a little... Oh, I provoked them anyway, right. Well, at least Ivy's not moving yet. Oh, interesting. Interesting, I can Lodestar Rush you in the face. I think I will do that.
My name is Kagetsu. Pleased to meet you. If only it were under friendlier circumstances. My prayers are with you.
So, Kagetsu, you won't know why I'm doing this to you yet, but let's just say I'm gonna take pleasure in it.
This is it. I am defeated. I must retreat.
Just like the ballista firing twice, you had to say I am defeated twice. And yep, that was like 70 experience. And yeah, this is another reason why you promote early, is because, yeah, internal level, you still gain pretty decent amount of experience. And I can canter away if I want, to not lure in Ivy. So, you know what, maybe I will do that. Zelkov, though, and okay, I'm using Great Sacrifice this turn, though, so I don't really need to worry too much about you being on low HP. Okay. Is that an alive Pegasus Knight, or is that a corrupted? No, it's an alive Pegasus Knight, but it also still dies, so it's no longer an alive Pegasus Knight, I guess. But yeah, the whole off-meta thing. So, I have never used Amber before in any of my playthroughs. And I really wanted to, like, let this playthrough be, like, the first time that I ever used Amber. And then Clan decided to be amazing. And now I'm like, I may not even have room on my team for Amber, because Clan is just, has become too good, and he's an off-meta pick, so maybe I should use Clan instead. In fact, I probably will use Clan instead. So, if only you had a, longbow. Speaking of longbow, though, I think I will actually use the ballista on this thing. Called an enemy a thing again. So ballista shot, this thing I don't know why I do that, it's just, I don't know, force of habit. But that is down. 400 individual combats, and we are only a little bit into the game. Okay, that's cool. Well, technically there's no reason for me not to use, like I probably should use Blazing Lion here. That's gonna set some spaces on fire, though. I wonder if I could have, like, lured Ivy into the fire. That would have been cool.
There's my opening. It's time.
In fact, I'm not even sure if she's affected by fire because she's a flyer. She probably isn't. But yeah, not only do flames inflict damage every turn, but flame tiles are also very hard to traverse, so that can be strategically useful for cutting off the movement of enemies. Yeah, in general, in fact, you know what? I just realized something. Wait, you have a movement of like 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. You wouldn't have been able to reach Zelkov anyway. Yeah, be careful because it cuts off your own movement just as much as it does enemy movement. I would say I want Louis to get a little bit more, experience here, but he's a little higher level than Yunaka, so technically, she should take this.
Leave now, or my duty demands you be destroyed. Nothing personal.
And it is good to fight knife users with somebody who has high defense, because that means they don't get poisoned. As you can see there, Louis did not get poisoned from that. Yunaka can beat this guy. Again, she's not doubling, which I'm honestly a little bit worried about Yunaka's like lack of doubling right now. But you could also go for the Navarre thing. That means you get poisoned though because you strike last. So with the she doesn't actually quite do it. So I guess I have to actually use Yunaka here.
Oblivion is near.
Okay, that's dark, kind of.
How unfortunate. I must return to Princess Ivy.
Yeah, overall, Zelkov and Kagetsu are not really that tough opponents in this map. Like, I've never had that much trouble with them, even on Maddening. I know I kind of say that a lot. Do I mean, I will get the heal from Great Sacrifice this turn. Maybe I do consider luring Ivy in, but for that I probably will want some bow users, and I will want some backups, and I will probably want a little more people over that side, because you're going to run out of your engage soon as well. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things down there, and a lot of them are mages, and you have 3 resistance. And you don't even have a ranged weapon anyway, so what am I even thinking? This is a complete waste, but I like the experience. Yeah, he's very close to level 10 now.
I smell gold.
And now we Great Sacrifice.
If this means survival, how's that?
If this means survival, how's that? Okay. So the experience from Great Sacrifice is directly based on the number of characters who get healed by it, or rather, the number of characters who get affected by it. And this actually makes Micaiah on an armored unit. I'll just have to give credit to the comment section for this one. Micaiah on an armored unit a more useful prospect than you'd think, because what it means is that the defense buff, the global defense buff that Great Sacrifice gives for the armor class bonus, that counts as affecting your entire army with the effect, so you gain the full experience from Great Sacrifice every time. Okay, yeah, you did move, good. Kind of?
With this emblem's strength and my own, there will be no defeating me.
Because if you are going for the Master Lance, I just realized the Master Lance is a brave weapon. But she's not using it, okay. The Master Lance would have got it doubled, so yeah, that's probably why she didn't. Also, I think this is our first time hearing this new boss theme. And so many things just disappeared then. Can Anna?
I refuse to cry.
Oh, right, she's on 1 HP, right. Actually, that means Jean can heal. And I hope this is gonna push you up to level... If it doesn't, I can finish it off in the arena. That's something that I say a lot in this game, but it's true. The arena is great for just pushing people over the edge of a level up. So Ivy has 2 health bars. I've already taken her down a little bit. She's poisoned. You took the Wind Tome, didn't you? Because Wind is effective against flyers, so I could... If I position you right, which is easy because of your inherited canter. Firstly, though, wow, okay then, I only do... Yes, that's just the strength screwage on Louis. That actually really sucks. I mean, of all people, Ezier could kind of finish this. Okay, you'll notice that you see in that forecast there, the red arrow is first. That's because she's in vantage range now. So, probably for the best to attack first with somebody like Yunaka, and who takes less damage, and this means that Ivy's gonna get poisoned again. But yeah, she just triggered single-minded. Which is kind of a good combination with Vantage, because it means she can go in, take damage to put herself in Vantage range, and then there's no reason for Yunaka to stay down here with Cancer, because she's at least, she's not a backup character, so there's no benefit to her being close to enemies. Okay, I should definitely be able to finish off Ivy, but For example, like if I attack her now, yeah, so Vantage stops applying now because she's on her second health bar and her health just refilled. So important to know that like every health bar effectively counts as a separate like unit, I suppose, for the purposes of like skills like that. Yeah, Aaliyah definitely won rounds, that one. And I could actually show some arts combat with Aaliyah, but it's not like it's going to really do a whole lot.
Still good.
Are you, Amber? Are you? Because if I do this, then you don't actually die. So that's probably fine. I just want Anna to get this guy. Wait, is that a girl? Yep, sometimes it can be... I think that's a male mage? But, okay then, let's just finish you.
A little product demo.
So, okay, Anna has actually been, well, she's kind of mixed performance this chapter, because she's got doubled by a Pegasus Knight, but she's also crit 2 things. In that case, yeah, let's just take this kill with, hopefully, Aaliyah? Because, yeah, I can do that. And then, now maybe I can show Aaliyah's newfound fisticuff skills. Let's see, Iron Body Art. Chain Attack won't finish you, so I can show punching.
I won't forget you.
So I was about to, like, make a Falcon Punch joke, and I was like, wait, would that be like Dragon Punch? And then I'm like, isn't that what they localized Shoryuken as in a lot of, like, earlier, before they started just calling it Shoryuken?
I'll do it.
Right. I could go for this and try and, like, crit her. Because, yeah, as you see, she's equipped the Master Lance, because she's like, oh, I don't want to get broken. But, it's also really heavy, so it means I get to W more easily, and let's just say that that's going to be something I'm gonna talk about quite soon. Again, Ring of the Sage Lord. It's good, but not for combat. And, of course, I didn't crit either of them. We did get to see some pretty cool combat rolls on her, though. Okay, I do need to stay adjacent because I'm not equipping the Javelin anymore, so I need to do that for the... This is so dumb. I am doing this specifically so that Louis can finish this, because I know that Clan, like, can definitely one round, but I sort of want maybe Louis to get a possible level up out of this. I don't even think there's anybody else I can really finish off here. And Alchrist, I mean, he helped a little. I was kind of hoping Alchrist would do a little bit more. I forget if Alchrist or Diamant have special boss dialogue with Ivy. I'd assume that maybe they do, but I could be wrong about that. But okay then, she's going to Vantage me now.
Here. I won't fall here. No. The ring.
Oh no, the powerful ring that would definitely be a massive asset to the Illusion War effort. Whatever will we do now that we have lost it? But yeah, that map overall is not really that bad. I like how it's not all that choke pointy as far as defend maps go. What I think I'll be doing here, and this is different to what I normally do, but I'm going to end this part here, because around the start of the next one, like Ivy said, she lost her ring. So I'd like to go over the emblem from Ivy's ring at the start of the next part, where we'll also go over Diamant and Amber. I will see you all next time for a very interesting emblem.